Hi guys, it's me Ali, and this is my If You Really Knew Me video. If you really knew me, you'd know that my real name is not Ali, it's Alex, and that I am a 16-year-old transgender girl, male to female. If you really knew me, you'd know that I wear more makeup when I'm upset or when I'm bored than I do any other time. If you really knew me, you would know that I dye my hair when my life changes, when I see a difference in my life, when something bad happens. If you really knew me, you'd know that I'd have a history of being depressed and cutting myself. If you really knew me, you'd know that I don't have the perfect life, that I struggle with a lot of things. If you really knew me, you'd know that I try to be nice to everyone, no matter what it is. I always try to see the good side in people. If you really knew me, you'd know that I've been bullied for many years of my life because of me expressing who I was. For the longest time I was getting bullied because I was gay, because that's what I thought it was, and honestly that's not what it was. If you really knew me, you'd know that I've moved around a lot. A lot. If you really knew me, you'd know that I have an obsession with body art. Any kind of body art, whether it's hair, makeup, piercings, tattoos, anything like that. I have an obsession with it. If you really knew me, you'd know that my friends are where my heart is and always will be. If you really knew me, you'd know that music is my entire life. It is my escape and has been for many, many years. If you really knew me, you'd know that I'm a stoner. If you really knew me, you'd know that I've been trying to quit smoking cigarettes for 3 months now and still haven't been able to succeed with that, but I'm getting closer. If you really knew me, you'd know that my favorite color is green, blue, and purple. If you really knew me, you'd know that my birthday was on December 29th, 1996. If you really knew me, you'd know that I love taking pictures. If you really knew me, you know that I'm a huge supporter of marriage equality. If you really knew me, you know that my favorite subject is history in school. If you really knew me, you'd know that I always paint my nails a bunch of different colors. If you really knew me, you'd know that my first tattoo was this moon and stars, and it stood for somebody who was very close to me who passed away. If you really knew me, you'd know that me and my dad didn't have the best relationship, but and we weren't close. And I kind of blame myself for him passing away and us not making up. Well, I did. If you really knew me, you'd know that my best friend in the entire world is Nakia McCrae. We've been best friends for almost too long to count. If you really knew me, you'd know that I intend on getting more body piercings and more tattoos. If you really knew me, you would know that Sleeping with Sirens is my favorite band. If you really knew me, you'd know that I look for inspiration everywhere. If you really knew me, you'd know that I always, always, always try to talk people out of suicide or out of depressing thoughts. If you really knew me, you'd know that Halloween is my favorite holiday. If you really knew me, you'd know that I cry a lot when I write some of my music because of how passionate I am about what I do. If you really knew me, you'd know that my favorite word is cunt. If you really knew me, you'd know that my favorite thing to do in the entire world is hang out with my friends. If you really knew me, you'd know that I've had 42 piercings, and I currently have 5. If you really knew me, you'd know that I've had many different stages of my life. I went through this emo stage, I went through the scene stage, I went through the hipster stage, all of that, and now I just don't give a fuck. I'm just who I am. If you really knew me, you'd know that I love each and every one of you, no matter what, and you guys can always talk to me about anything. Bye guys, I love you.